Hey guys, welcome to the Sustainable Life Habits channel. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through squat primers. One of the most important exercises to prime before you get into the movement is for your squats. So now with that being said, let's hop to it. The first one I always start with, this is something, a routine I always go through prior to my squats. So we're gonna start by popping the shoes off. We're gonna go right in the socks. We're on the turf. Make sure we get that full range of motion for everything. So one of my absolute favorites, I get a lot of positive client engagement or positive client feedback from our 90-90s. So all that's gonna do is that's gonna open up our hips. So where the term 90-90s comes from, 90 degrees this way, and we're looking 90 degrees in the back. So what we're gonna do is gonna isolate our hips. So first, we're gonna get in this, we're gonna put our arms to the side here, and we're just gonna twist it a little bit to the side. And we wanna make sure that all the flex is coming from the hips, not twisting in the stomach or the obliques, but it's coming from the hips. So we're gonna open that up for about 10 seconds. It's just gonna increase it a little bit, our mobility. We're gonna take this hand, we're gonna flip it with our fingers back, move it right tight. And what we're gonna work on is hinging right at the hips here. And we're gonna be bringing that chest right down to that leg. And we're gonna hold it as far as we can for about 10 seconds. And you should feel it pulling right here, right on the legs, opening up those hips. 10 seconds, bring it back, give it a minute. Back, another 10 to 15 seconds. Open it up, hold it. Now when we're doing this, we're not bouncing into it. It's not gonna give us what we're looking for. Go down and hold it. And it's gonna burn, but you're gonna hold it. Far more effective than bouncing. And back up. All right, switch it up, do the other side. Now for myself, I find that my left hip is significantly tighter than my right hip. A very common thing where we have one hip that's tighter than the other. So all we're gonna do again here is looking to twist it out. Open it up, the hips. Put that hand right next to the core, palm backwards. And we're looking to hinge at the hips, bring that chest down right to the leg. Hold it for 10. And we're gonna bring it back. One more time. Now I can really feel this opening up. Bring it down. Hold it for 10 to 15 seconds. Now this is really gonna give you a deeper squat, I promise you. After I run the 90-90s, it'll probably deepen up my squats by probably like a good 3 to 6 inches just from running those alone. So the next thing we're gonna do, the hips are loosened up or the hips are ready to go. What we're gonna do, we're right by the dumbbells, or not the dumbbells, we're right by the kettlebells. We're gonna grab one of these. It doesn't need to be anything overly heavy. Grab a kettlebell, and we're gonna work on opening up our ankles here, or loosening them up a bit. So grab that kettlebell. We're gonna put the weight right over top of the knee, and we're just gonna lean into it like this. Lean in and hold it. So make sure that heel stays on the ground. Make sure your foot is nice and flat. Make sure your toes are pointed where your knees are, and just hold that. So not only are you gonna feel it right here, but you're also gonna feel it in the groin, opening up, coming back. You're gonna go get that nice and deep. We should make sure that the knee is well over our toes in this. Hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds, depending on how tight it is. And back. That's all you really need is 2 good sets. We're gonna do that for the right. So knee is in line, or your foot's right in line with your knee here. Weight right over top of the knee. Bring that knee well over the toes. Hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. So this is gonna increase our mobility, our range of motion right in our ankles, which is very important for our squats. Also, I do recommend, if you haven't already, take off your shoes for this. It's just gonna help you get better range of motion. So Again, hold it 10 to 15 seconds. And back. All right, took care of the ankles, took care of the hips. The last thing that we're gonna go work on really quick, we're gonna run over to the squat rack and I'm gonna show you how to just open up these shoulders real fast, so let's head over there. All right, so here's our last primer. Now the reason we prime our shoulders for something as in the squat is because when we put that bar on the back, we don't necessarily want it sitting right high on the spine. It's very difficult. So now, if we want to slide it down the back, what you got to do is get that range of motion to really hold onto the bar. So that means limited like this. So that's why we have to open up, almost loosen up the chest and the shoulders here. So how we're going to do that, there's ways to use bands. However, most of us don't carry a lot of bands with us in the gym. But what we do have is a squat rack or a cage. So you're going to take your cage, the squat rack. What you're going to do is you're just gonna put your palm and your elbow on there, right in line with you. And what you're gonna do here is you're gonna pivot it, keep your elbow on there, and work on bringing your palm back. Hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. And bring it back. Very simple. Now, we gotta make sure we're not twisting like this when we do this. We wanna make sure we're staying perpendicular here. Pivot at the elbow and bring that palm back as far away from the rack as you can. 5 to 10 seconds. Should feel it pulling right in here. And that's it. We're gonna quickly do the other one. Put it on there. Make sure you're sitting nice and even with it and bring that palm back. What I can tell you guys, the shoulder feels a lot tighter, just like the hips. The left side for me, for whatever reason, seems to be a lot tighter than the right side. Lean into it, pull that palm back, hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. All right, you guys, it's as simple as that. There's your squat primers, one for your ankles, your hips, and your shoulders, and you should be good to go hit some squats. Thanks for checking in. We'll catch you guys at the next one.